So, up, YouTube fam, it's Dark Angel's Journey. I am Shakira. Trying to keep this on time. I did say I'd be on at 9, so just getting everything set up, getting logged into my Thinkorswim on this screen right here, and I'll have the chat here, and OBS is going to be hanging out in the front. So if I move around, be looking at. Actually, maybe I should move the stream window here and look at this stuff here. Yeah, so we'll adjust that. But first, let's get logged in. Happy Saturday to all. I hope August ended up being a good trading month. It was definitely a challenging trading month for me, for sure. But I am proud of myself for the trades I took, and especially the trades I didn't take. So let me just let's get set up here and let's do this thing. Chicken wang. Up. And I'm logged on. Get logged in to Thinkorswim. And it might not be a bad idea to take a quick look at the calendar, and I'll grab a screenshot of my calendar for the month of August. And we can kind of compare it to other months. It's very, very different vibe for sure. Very, very different vibe. So let me get sorted out here. Yes, my Thinkorswim wants to be in the middle. Yep, that's perfect. So that there. Let's switch that to on demand. I should really do a little bit of a cleanup on my Thinkorswim. So let me move this over here. Oops. There we go. And then this way I can see the live stream and if anyone's talking to me and the calendar. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a, let's see what my, look at that. Yeah, let me take a screenshot of that for you guys. Because I'm just kind of tracking everything for myself. And not using anything special, just Excel, Google, to make sure everything is working the way it's supposed to. Let me also open up my journal as well so that I can update my journal settings. So I wanted to go to work on my continuation setups, especially on trending days when prices just sort of run away and not giving us any kind of opportunity to get in. I mean, there's usually some sort of opportunity to get in, but sometimes it can almost feel like there is nothing for you to do, especially when it's running away. So usually when that happens, my first thought is I need to wait for some sort of pullback. Absolutely. I need to wait for some sort of pullback. And that's how I'm going to get into my setup. Anyway, so I've got a screenshot of my calendar, so I'll share that in a little bit. But let's switch over to Thinkorswim here and hope it doesn't look crazy. Oh, good. Yes, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and make this tiny or tinier, I should say. And then I'm going to just do that, make it smaller up top there. And then I'm going to we'll take a look at Friday's price action one because I was very disappointed that I missed out on a very, very good setup Oh, I guess Friday stuff's not available. What do we have? Oh, I hear kitties. Goodness gracious. So I wanna work with okay. And kitty's gone. I don't know why she feels the need to jump up on me and then uh run off. Hmm. The stream's bit rate's a bit low. I'm not really sure how to fix that, honestly. Maybe reduce my windows or something. Anyway, so let's start this back testing off. Yeah, let's find some trending days to work with. So I'm gonna go check on my calendar on my. So let's see, Friday the 22nd. Actually, yeah, the Friday 22nd was very, very nice trending day. Then we had Tuesday the 19th. That was a good trending day. So let's start with Tuesday and go from there. So I'm trying to, instead of testing the setup that I'm very well aware of, let's work on the setup that, and we'll start at, don't, no, no, kitty, not on my laptop. Thank you very much. You can sit there, don't touchy touchy. What's up, pretty girl? Yes, you are. Okay, so let's go. And let's switch to the 15-minute time frame for that day. Oh, goodness gracious. Nope, kitty, not on my laptop. You can't. Oh my goodness, y'all. Babies, man. What? Babies want attention. Come here, baby girl. Come here, baby girl. You want so much attention. So much attention. You're splaying up and being super adorable. Hmm. You're trying to get my attention. I'm sorry. You want attention? I give you attention. Nobody's watching right now. Anyway, I give you a couple, give you a little bit of time. Yes, yeah. Oh, all right. Okay. You can sit on my lap, okay? But not my laptop here. Look at her. She's so cute. Who's the cutest of them all? He's my Sasha and Maddie. They're the cutest. Okay. You gonna chill here? Gonna be a good girl? Yeah. All right. So let's see what we're heading for. So that was a nice down day. So whenever they start dropping like that, like my first thought is to go up to an even higher time frame, like the 1 hour, the 4 hour, so I can like dig a little deeper into where they can go, you know? Because if they're just dropping like flies, then I really just want to get in on that action. So let's specify this. So let's specify this low right here. And I especially love it when there's a fair value gap right in there too, because then, it increases the probability of them running below that low. So let me plop this on the right there. And I'm also going to duplicate that because plenty more down here and there. So something to aim for. So it's 9:37 on the 19th. We'll go back up to the 1 minute, and then now we have somewhere to aim. So we're aiming down there. I know if there's a fair value gap in that same space, I would love, love, love to see a retracement back up. So we have one, two, three fair value gaps in this space. I want to see how they behave in this one. They don't even have to make it up here. So I want to see them come up here, but they don't have to. So let's see what we do here first, and then we can move it up if we need to. Because visually, I need some method of understanding where they might go. You gonna head off, Kitty? So, so one thing to note that I'm trying to get comfortable with on days like this, like if it runs up and taps this and then drops from down here, then I would be more than happy to jump in on a short of some kind. But let's see what they did. This is a Tuesday, right? I don't even know if there was news that day. So let's double check. Was there news on that day, on the 19th? Let's double check here. No, nothing to stop us from just doing whatever we want. So right now we are, what is it? 9:39. So from the opener, we just kind of dropped and just kept dropping. Did we take anything out reasonable? No London highs taken. Took out all the London lows though. So this is the kind of situation that gets me though. Like, so we haven't even made it halfway up here. There's no shift and potential continuation down. Not honestly, I'd prefer if there was some sort of like order block or something, or if it sets itself up to like, make structure, take that structure out and then drop. That would be nice. That's okay. Maybe that's what we're doing. That'd be nice. I would like that. Like, let's set up something. Or if they came up and, took out the highs or something, that would be pretty sweet. But with one, two, three of them, if they're going to continue down, then I would like it to reject from this one up here and then potentially get a short down to here. So let's see. Just trying to work on the continuation, but it has to have some kind of structure still. It can't just be YOLO into it. That would be ridiculous on so many levels. Let me check my calendar. So I'm pretty sure I didn't take any trades. No, I took a trade last Thursday and Friday, but not Tuesday. So I'm pretty sure like part of the reason why I'm even doing this right now is so that I can get more comfortable with these types of days so I can actually get in on that action, on that price action, because it's really hard for me to feel comfortable to just with my stop, with my setup. Like these days don't fit into my narrative normally. I have both babies up here and they are very, very happy to do their own thing. So let's see if we can't get some sort of narrative going. All right, so they've dropped. That's the 9:30 high if they want to go take it. I'm trying to see what would be the best way to get in on this sort of setup. Because there's a shift that's going to be all the way up here. All the way up here. All right, so something that I've seen and I want to back test is that they like to tap this space right here. And then, so I'm trying to get comfortable with the idea of them tapping it and then dropping and then getting into an entry from here. So let's see. So we got this candles tapped into this fair value gap here. If we don't do anything else with it, then I might be willing to see about a setup. Okay, so we tapped it. I'm curious to see if an entry like literally right here would be useful for a sell, given the behavior, like so. And I would just aim for the lows, Let's see. if that would give me anything, if that would be helpful. Because I've sometimes seen where they like tap in like that, and then as long as, they might take that out again. But if not, then I would switch my entry to, doesn't, it's like 53 seconds. So if this continues down, then I'm probably not coming back up here. And then I'm probably best served trying to get an entry. Down here, perhaps. Oh, well, that looks pretty promising. 20 seconds into that candle. So yeah, that doesn't feel like they're coming back that way. So I'm going to see what an entry from here would do for me. Assuming they don't just run away and not give us any kind of an opportunity to get in. Because this is a nice move, Maybe we can try for a whole number, 600, 600. I don't know. Trying to figure out how to get in on these continuation days, man. It's hard. They really do like run away sometimes, and and I'm not into the YOLOing it. I like the behavior. One, two, three, fair. Oh my God, kitty! Don't do that. Don't be stepping on stuff. Ah, she's such a baby. Okay, guys, she's not such a baby. She is a baby. But look at this. Like, unless I YOLO'd into this, how am I supposed to get in? No return back up. Like, I waited. I come up here. I'm hoping they would tap this. I was hoping they would tap it a second time. So I put the entry there. They didn't bother to come back. Oh, stop. Kitty. Sorry, she's being super cute. They didn't bother to come back down. This is the next area of interest all the way down here. I don't need that whole run. Okay, so again, continuation setup is if we are moving heavily in one direction, trending wise, then I want to see some sort of retracement back up into an area of interest. In this case, there's 1, 2, 3 fair value gaps in this whole space. I want to see movement back up and then give us an opportunity to get in. I suppose if I was a different, eventually I'll be this type of trader. But I suppose once I saw this, that's why I put the entry here, but they never came back to tap it one more time. So maybe I should have set my entry here, which would have got me into the trade, obviously. Um, hmm. But it's the type of thing that scares me. So like, let me see. What would that, because I would have wanted the stop, no matter what, to be over above this wick right here. But look at how they just ran away. I'm like, it's a good idea, but without just market buying or just hoping for the best. Like, I guess working on my fear needs to be the highest priority. It's also why I didn't get a trade in that day, because I mean, I liked this. I didn't get once it blew past it, I didn't get an entry back here. Or at least as I'm looking at it now, it's what I would have done. So knowing that it's like super heavy and it's what, 9:47 on the 19th? We've taken this again. If we can push back up, maybe we can get something. Because or it's just going to run away. And I have to be okay with the fact that it's going to run away. So we've got one leg, retrace back up, two leg. I just don't know. Like in a big move like this, like I don't know if I have the stones to just plop it at the base of this fair value gap in the hopes that they'll just tap that and then drop again. I don't know if I have that in me. It seems kind of scary, like super scary. And also, these candles are huge. They're huge. Like, gotta give Kitty love. They're huge. They're like, look at my stop. It's always 37 ticks, right? Always 37 ticks. So we've got nice candles, what looks like a little bit of exhaustion here. And I'm hoping that that exhaustion will give us a push back up. We've got one, two fair value gaps, but I still just don't know how I'm supposed to get into this. Like in this scenario, like it's almost impossible for my trading style to get in on this trade. But it's 9:49 on the 19th in the AMs. Now the other option is we've dropped a whole bunch. This candle sometimes makes me feel like I should take the short, but I think it's a low probability short. You know what I mean? We've taken lows and then to take it from here just doesn't feel viable to me. It'd be different if, we ran up and then we made a green candle here, then I could have taken it here. Like that I would have taken because for me, we've rejected off of that, then dropped, set up another candle here. If I didn't get the entry here, if it like dropped and like made it here, then that would have been more viable with the caveat that it needs to close the fair value gap in my opinion. But the question is there a precedent when they're dropping so very aggressively that it's okay to take the trade from here? Because this behavior says no to me. What do you think? Um, so I'm trying to understand this whole process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this down since they've dropped so much. So obviously they can absolutely make it down here. I want to see if they're willing to. So we've got these two order blocks. Maybe they're willing to come back up to here, but they've dropped so much. Maybe they won't even do that. They'll just stick with this low and then drop. That might be a scenario where I might, if they drop below that after tapping this, that might be a scenario where we could potentially try for a continuation short. I don't know. Let's see. 56 seconds. I don't like that closure. But let's see. Would that have worked? It's not a sexy closure, y'all. It's not a sexy closure. And I don't like that type of setup. Yeah. So I don't like that type of setup. It's like it's a messy area to go in. I'm in the trade now, but now I'm uncomfortable. It's not nice. Like a better push up would make me feel better. So this closure, this is the type of closure that I don't like. If I'm gonna do a continuation trade, this closure would have to be stronger. I did put it in there just for funsies, but look, I'm about to get stopped out. It's not the right type of setup. It's not the right type of setup. So further up, okay, we so this is why I don't take these types of setups because we need some sort of retracement. It has to pop back up to give you the opportunity to get in properly. So this is more, like, okay, reminding myself that this isn't the type of thing that works. Up here, like, so for example, if I were to just trade this on a fib entirely, right? I'm not of, having seen this occur a few times, I'm not of the opinion that they're going to roll back up super far, maybe to the 50%, which correlates with the order block here, with the base of the order block here. But what makes me super nervous about that sort of scenario is, excuse me, there's a very big fair value gap here. So I'd want to see if they want to dig up into the 62% or the 70 is my preference, but I don't, trade the fib specifically. Like it's more a matter of where are we in that mini range. So this is why like this type of setup wouldn't have worked if for a continuation, right? Like because it's different if we'd formed these two candles and then this one had dropped and did its job properly. So this is why I don't take these setups anymore. Like I haven't touched that. So like now I want to see if we hit the 50% of this thing, my stop is like really tight, honestly. It's really tight. And we need some kind of retracement. We don't necessarily need to come all the way back up here, but we need some kind of retracement. So we just the 50%. I want to see them come in here. I would be interested in taking the sell, the base of this to come back down. Again, my stop is not amazing. They don't necessarily need to come all the way back up because most of the time, I think they like to stop at the body of the second candle and not come all the way up. That's what I think they like to do. So at this behavior right here, I like it. We've got what, 26 seconds, 28 seconds into that candle. It's 9:54. There's no news. So I'm gonna I'll put my order there. Most of this candle is taken up by my stop, so I don't feel so bad about it. So, but the other thing that we're seeing is it's stalling here, right? So let's see if we can get up there. If we can't get up there, then I might try to catch it here. If it drops, like I'll switch it to like this lower candle. So this is like that continuation thing. I don't love that my stop isn't above here, but risking more than 37 ticks for me is like a non-starter, So if we reject from here, I'm willing to put my entry here instead as a test to see how that works. We're in the midpoint of this fair value gap. So 30 something seconds. I like that behavior. So let's switch it back to there. Now you should absolutely let the candle finish forming. Absolutely let it finish forming. 48 seconds, 49, even though it dropped nicely, I tend to miss out on these types of trades a lot. So I'm gonna see if they're willing to tap into the bottom of this one more time, or I've just missed that trade. Because I like that they didn't. So let's see if I'm right. I like that they respected the base of this fair value gap, but then also the midpoint of this one. So I want to see if we can just tap it and then drop. And then we just manage it on the way down. Like, was that the better play? So we'll see if this candle like smacks me about. Oof. Not sexy. Trying to figure out these entries, man. Now my express hope at this point, and it is hope, is that they want to like go above this. Coming back into here does not make me feel super comfy. So they would need to drop like a lot for me right now to feel comfortable. Like a lot. That's looking like it wants to go up more. Because my original entry was here. So a lot of times, like when I choose to change my entry, that's when I get, smacked, you know? So let's see. The other issue is, am I focused on the wrong fair value gap as well? So if I were to resize this guy, yeah. Oh my goodness. Let's see, where are we? A little bit about midpoint. Yeah, so let's see. If we can stay below here and drop, then my stop might be all right. We are looking at 2 minutes before 10. So yeah, there's always this debate in my mind about which fair value gap I need to focus on. Is it the the one they were sitting inside of and respecting, the new one that they've just created, or, you know, I suppose it should be the one that's like entirely focused on my entry, where I want to get in, perhaps, or a correlation of both, right? So in this scenario, I was looking at an entry right there because of the base of this. But if I'd been looking at this one, then I would have put my entry a little bit higher at the midpoint of the fair value gap. That's a little bit different. Okay, so it's 9:49, and this looks not exciting, but somewhat encouraging, perhaps. It is still respecting the midpoint of that fair value gap, and by as luck would have it, my stop is above that. I would prefer if I had gotten the entry here, if I'd focused on this fair value gap instead. Like that would have been a better scenario for me. So that's one way to try and get in on this action. So where did we hang out? We're hanging out in this order block, middle of the fair value gap, and now I need to see them just kind of blow through this with some alacrity. It's about to be 10 o'clock on the 19th, so I don't really know how this plays out, but that's why we're testing it out this way. Okay, so what did we do? Where did we come back on? We definitely rolled back up to a discount for the sell above 50% of this little mini range here. And so I did say 62, right? Like 62 is not a bad space. I probably should have just set the order at the 62 because I like 62 or 70, honestly, for entries, if I'm going to get that. So it's 10 o'clock, and come on, do some dropping. We've dropped, we've retraced, we took the lows out again, and there's no shift in this scenario. So I wanted to continue dropping. So let's make some notes. So Kitty is literally like blocking my mouse area here. So very interesting. All right, so what do I do about my stop? So my entry was at the base of this. My entry was here. So I'm not moving my stop until we've cleared this fair value gap. And we've gotten closer to the lows down here. I don't like this behavior. Like respecting this is not what I wanted to see. Like I need to see it just blow through it. This behavior is not exciting at all. So we're back basically to my entry. I sometimes worry that whenever I try to do the staircase entry scenario, they're going to do something like, okay, I made this setup, take that, make a little lower setup, and then another higher setup to take all of that out and then drop. Because that's a scenario I've seen as well. So in this situation, I need to see like it just drop with alacrity, not hang about and play footsie with this fair value gap, which is what it's doing. So right now I'm stuck between two. The trend is down, but I'm stuck. But I'm stuck between two fair value gaps. My expectation is a continuation down. And I'm just trying to get comfortable with how to get down here, how to get in on these types of entries. My original desire was for it to come all the way back up here, but I found that whenever there's two of them or three in a row, most likely that's not going to be the case. So, and it could be in this case because we are struggling. It's 10:02. We are struggling to get past this fair value gap, but I do like that we are wicking into the base of this one. So maybe there's hope yet. And like the near term target is this low here because it could just take that, drop a little bit, and then, come back up and continue doing that staircasing thing for all we know. So my plan is once we've taken this low out, hopefully if they drop below it, then I'll move my stop here to lock in whatever that would have been in the hopes that they'll drop down this way. But this It's not cute. But, you know, we're in it. I'm not moving my stop to secure anything because we haven't even made it to halfway to my where I want it to go. And this, remember what I said, like they sometimes have the ability to make this high and then make another one and then take that out and then drop. Because that could be what happens here. I don't know. So don't like that they've respected the midpoint of that. So most likely it looks like I'm gonna get stopped out. Yep. That's exactly what they're doing. They're doing that thing where that's why I don't trust continuation trades most of the time. Okay, so that's two attempts at this continuation entry that's failed. So let's see. So they made an internal high. I want to see if they just want to take it and then drop. Do we get them respecting, taking this out and then giving me a proper drop to continue back down? That's what I think. 'Cause that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes they do that, and that's why I don't take most continuation trades. I'll show you guys the type of continuation trade that I really, really love, that I'm super salty about. I was waiting for it on Friday and I didn't set my order. And I'm just like constantly fighting with the same issue. Okay, so I'm going to put this back here since we've rejected from this space once. I want to see them do it one more time. So they've engineered some liquidity here. And I took the bait. Like I know a lot of folks took the bait. So they engineered that liquidity and then took it out. So now what I want to see is, do we like sweep this shallowly and then give us an opportunity for a short still? Because what they didn't do was give us any kind of like shift. Like take that out, sure. But I would prefer a shift where they took this out like that's a lot, right? Like if they just run up, took that out, then my bias would have switched to long. But because I've been watching price and literally just not trading, waiting for my A plus setup. Because it's like a sweep, shift, get in, simple. Not trying to overcomplicate it. So I've been noticing these weird little patterns. Maybe it's not weird, it's just the way the market works. But I've been noticing these patterns where they, you know, especially on these trending days, you get two options. You get them dropping just and it's beautiful and it's whatever and it's clean. But then the continuation potential becomes a bit harder because like this one is the one I wanted. I set my entry here and they ran away and they give me like just an opportunity, nothing. They give me nothing. And then they came back up here, respected the midpoint of this. I mean, order block, it's not a bad play, but sometimes they like to nuke us out, which is definitely uncool. So right now, I've got nothing. This is the 1 minute. Let's like take a quick gander. Kitty is sleeping right next to me, just being adorable. Let's take a quick gander at the 5 minutes on this. So this is why I'm here, right? Trying to figure out the best way. So 9:30, we dropped with alacrity. I honestly don't think they're gonna come back up for this. I really don't. So I need to figure out. Little girl, do not try and sleep on my laptop. Oh my God. She's like blocking my mouse, y'all. I can barely get to anything. Okay. So now, what is the play here? Because I'm still Oh yeah, so I want them to engineer a low here. I want them to take this out, like leave this and then take this out and then drop, and then maybe we can get a setup. And then that setup could be to just take these lows out. I don't need to like, I know there's like more down here, but we're playing games here. We're straight up playing games. So let's see what they do. It's 10:08 on the 19th. I'm also trying to keep in mind that we've got the midpoint of this fair value gap, not fair value gap, wick that they've respected. I really, really want to see them. Come on, one more time. Push up. Make it clean. Make it clean. Make it clean. I don't know about you guys, but August has been a shit show of price action. Just insanity. What do you guys think? Because wow, just an insane, insane month. I think I got in, let me look at the calendar here. For August, I traded one, two, three, four, five, six, seven trades in that time in the entire month. Well, that's not necessarily true. Eight. Well, let's see. Oops, no. So one on the first, two, three, four, five. Actually, five trades. Five trades for the entire month of August out of me. And most of those were wins. I'll show you the calendar. I'll have to switch over to okay. So we rejected from here. I want to see if we'll continue to reject. They've engineered this low. I want them to drop below it now. And then that would give me a potential to go short. Yeah, I really didn't take. Wait, am I looking at this wrong? Okay, no, that's wrong. I traded on the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th. Then the 21st, 22nd, and the 26th. So that's definitely more than five trades. So one trade on the 5th, one trade on the 6th, three trades on the 7th because I must have lost my mind. I'm pretty sure. I can't count. One, two, five, six, eight, nine. Oh, that's more than I expected. 10. 10 trades for August. Which is cool because my rule used to be two trades a day, you know? So if two trades a day at 5 days times approximately 4 weeks, that's 40 trades. So I reduced my trade volume by 30 in the month of August, just looking for my prime setup. So it is cold. I'm gonna go close the window. It's just right here. One second. So it's a holiday weekend in the US. Labor Day is on Monday, I think. So we've got a 3-day weekend. And I would like to go do something tomorrow. Today, there's a few chores to be done, babies to take care of. Mwah. Kitties. Um, ooh, I wonder, you know what? I wonder if this right here would have been a good entry because I was expecting a rejection here. Like, trusting that type of scenario is really hard for me. It really is. It's like really hard. I'm trying my best to like get comfortable with it, but it's hard. But now I would, so we've rejected from it a few times. I don't know if we're going to go back up to it. Let's see. Is that a situation we can play with? So like that's my base hit. We've dropped a bunch. Let's see if we can't take those lows out. I don't know if we even give anything. Gotta wait. But we tapped it one, two, didn't. Tapped it here. I don't know if we're gonna come back up and tap it. Given where the stop is, it wouldn't be terrible to. So yeah, this situation here, I'm expecting a rejection from here, engineered liquidity, they slapped it, and now if we take this low out, I will put my entry here on this candle. Let's see. But, there's that inherent fear I have of having my stop in the middle of other candles. I don't like that. I really don't, but it is what it is. So that looks promising. 31 seconds. Hey. Okay, that looks better. 41 seconds. So this is kind of what I was expecting in this scenario here. Absolutely. We swept it, and I want to see this candle close some body. Come on, give me some body down there. Yes, a little bit more body. That's not bad. So I'm gonna put my right there, and maybe we can tap up a little bit. Let's see if we get an entry, because it could come all the way back up here. I don't know. And it could be entirely wrong, but I love the way it's behaved here. So that's a good indication. I'm so bad with the fair value gap play. Like, I'm supposed to put my entry here, by the way, y'all. Just so you know, let me do that. Supposed to put my entry there. So I could get in. This thing is, I should have been tagged in there, but it did not tag me in. It's the Thinkorswim on-demand thing, so there's no guarantee that it's gonna do. But it's nice to see and get comfortable with them tapping my entry setup and things. So part of the reason why I'm doing this is putting the orders in when I think I should, so I get more comfortable doing it when I'm trying to trade my live. As we see, I had my order here. It should have tapped me, but it didn't let me in, so maybe it will do it now. I also had it a little bit higher up because I wanted to be above this candle. And this feels like perhaps they'll just... So in a normal scenario, maybe in live markets, I would have been tapped in from where my entry was. And then 10-16 on the 19th. So we're trying to work on the continuation setup. So this scenario I liked. I put an order in. It's hilarious because I put an order in here. Didn't get tagged in. It came back up here. I was trying to see if they were planning on just respecting the midpoint of this. They did it for a little bit and then, created the secondary scenario where they like to engineer liquidity and then take it out and then drop. So that's where we're at right now. So now I want to see if they're willing to, well, midpoint of this fair value gap. There's no reason for them to come back up all the way up here for an entry, but as I mentioned, it should have tagged me in, but we're using the on-demand feature on Thinkorswim, so the probability of getting it to take my order can sometimes be a little bit, it needs more of a pull than it would in real life. So I don't know. We did blow through this nicely, so I would love, love, love to see. I mean, honestly, if this forms and then it drops, I'll take an entry here as a secondary opportunity. Otherwise, let's see if they give us something here. Because this weird, what is this? W shape or something? This is the order block, so I'm gonna put it at the order block. So let's see if they let us. So close, you can do it. Honestly, I'd be pissed though. After if I got in here and it just dropped, I'd be pissed. You're just like, how dare you? Like, just run and leave me without giving me a chance. Either tag me in and then head out. Okay, so now we're respecting the midpoint of this fair value gap. There's no gap up here, just the one that's here. I would consider switching my entry if it took this low out to here or the body. So let's see if that's the case. Oh, come on. Now, I will freely admit, right? Like these types of scenarios where I have a specific um what's what I'm looking for, where I have a specific idea as to trend, right? In this case, bearish, but then they run down, they sweep a low, they come back up. But the return back up is the problem for me. It's that's the problem. It's how they go back up. Um, this behavior literally just doesn't make me feel like taking along, especially with an area they've rejected from prior. So like this right here, part of my problem is like it makes me want to move my entry. And I'm not gonna lie, every time I've done that, it stops me out. It really does. Like it stops me out and then it runs. Now, one thing I didn't do for this entry, and they'll probably tag me in before I can, because that's just basically what happens every time I think about doing this, is I want to make sure that I am above my entries above the 50%. Okay, we got tagged in. Let's see. From here, I just want to see them drop. It's 10:21. I'm hoping the 10 once we hit 10:30, it'll just be like we gone. We just gone. So all we can do is wait now. Testing out this continuation business. This is a better scenario than taking it here in the hopes that they're just staircasing. And sometimes they are. Sometimes they are staircasing, and that's okay. But my biggest fear with taking this type of setup is my stop is 37 ticks, no matter what. It's always 37 ticks. And usually, if my trade idea is right, I'll get tapped and it'll just go. And my stop is barely in any kind of trouble. Usually, if I'm right. So I don't feel the need to change my stop from 37 ticks. So what's going to happen is once we break past this low, maybe even this one, then I'll move my stop to break even. So now we're just waiting to see what happens. So let me grab my notes and my journal notes here for continuation trades and consider the entry type we're working with here. So just let's get down with some journaling, y'all. Because there's two types of entries that I like for continuation trades. So rules are wait for a retracement, right? But the big part of the continuation trade rules is they must not have taken a significant low yet. Like they're reaching for something, but they haven't taken it yet. So you have to, the only reason I would ever take a continuation trade is because they haven't taken that significant low yet. So there's plenty more to go for. So like I'm thinking they're gonna reach for this down here, personally, right? That's what I think. But I don't need that entire run. I just need to know that there is something for them to reach for, and it's a decent enough of a um, potential win rate for me to be comfortable with. So if I go for like 40 points or more, that's juicy, right? Oops. If I go for 20 points, that's like base hit for my type of setup. So this is looking pretty good. We didn't really deal with a lot of drawdown. Let's see if we can pass this low and take these lows out. If we're going to be a bearish sort of day. Like this is the type of scenario where I feel like once 10:30 to 10:45 comes around is when they're going to like actually move it, you know? They might mark time in this general space, but until then, let's hope my stop is good enough to handle all of this cray cray. So again, what I'm hoping for is we have this fair value gap here, and we're currently hanging out at the base of it. I don't know if we're going to stay there. I don't like that we haven't taken this low out. It's why I have not moved my stop. So I want to see them continue down. Like I said, I think they're coming all the way down here. This is like a base hit for me. The five something at this low. So what I want to see them do is just blow through it, right? Just blow through it, take that low out. And it might be that they take out way more than that, but it doesn't really matter to me because I'm trying to trade the structure and aim for obvious liquidity and get comfortable taking those before I can actually like run for like, much bigger fish, much bigger fish. All right, so I want them to take this low out and then I move my stop to break even because my entry was here. So I want to move my stop to break even here once we take this low out and we're getting close to this. So trying to trade structure and not the dollar value because the dollar value is not helpful for me. I got to get comfortable with the fluctuations of the candles. Like we all want them to just drop and drop and drop and drop because yeah, why the heck not? That's what we want. We want them to just go nuts and give us exactly what we want. So, okay, so we just took that out. So at this point, I'm going to move my stop to just past break even. So my stop's here, so cover fees. So I was going to move it here, but I'm not. I'm just gonna let that. So my entry's here, my stop's break even, it's just about there. Yeah, that should be fine, I think. So now I'm just gonna take my hands off the wheel. Don't worry about it. So this is one scenario for a continuation trade. Something to consider, I think right around here is like break even for me for a 20 point setup. So if we drop further down, then I'll lock in the 20 points, but that's not really structure, but I'd like to lock that in. Okay. And if the candle moves quickly enough, I probably won't have to, from what I can tell here. So that's pretty. And honestly, like this is in such a nice place. I would literally want to move my stop right here. I would. I would want to move it there. Because that's pretty juicy. Okay, and that would have been a nice juicy trade. Okay, so let's recap. Continuation setup, and I'm going to document this. This particular setup. So let's show all the little trades that we took in this particular spot. Can we show it? No. Okay, never mind. Let's take that off. All right. So one option for continuation trade is after we've dropped with alacrity, then we want to see a retracement back up of some kind. My preference would be if they had a, for the retracing back into like an order block and fair value gap, that would be best for me. The other scenario that we saw here is they took the lows out, came back up, they engineered liquidity here. So I, was hoping they would hang on at the midpoint and then drop. They did not. They chose to engineer liquidity and then take it and then reject from this area here that they already rejected from here. Once, if they reject from a spot once, that's great. If they do it a second time, third, it's in the same moment, it's probably going to keep dropping. So honestly, like when I started seeing this, putting an entry here would not have been a bad play. And then that would mean that I would already be like in a decent space. Once they dropped off here, and my stop would have already been moved to break to a little bit above break even. And then I would have just watched this, play out without any issues. Like I said, like my original, like this is where I think they'll run off to, but I don't need that run. The rules require me for a continuation play, for an A plus continuation play, there must be liquidity below that still needs to be taken. One. Two, they must give me some sort of obvious entry opportunity to get in to get to that. Because I'm not going to FOMO. I'm not going to hit the market buy button because those don't make me feel comfortable because I can't put in my stop fast enough. Because with Thinkorswim, literally, you have to like open up this guy and then, you gotta remember this, you buy one, sell stop. You, it's too stressful for me to do it that way. So like this scenario, and then hoping they'll come back and give me an entry here, which luckily they did, is like the best case scenario for me. And I don't really care that they're reaching for my the the rest of the liquidity because I already got a decent amount, more than 40 points out of it. I'm okay with that. But it must have some amount of liquidity that they're reaching for and they haven't taken. Otherwise, a continuation trade for me is dead. I would then start considering a reversal trade, which is my other A plus setup. Liquidity has been swept, shift in structure, get in. Sometimes I don't even give you an option to get in, but that's the idea, right? Anyway, so that's one. That's one. Let's pick another day for that's trending for a continuation to test. Oh, right. So let me share with you my most favorite continuation trade. Actually I can't because I can't do Friday stuff. Let's pick another continuation day. Let's pick another continuation day for trading. Let's do a long day to play with those. Let's look at August 12th. Look at my calendar. Make sure it's not a day I actually traded. Because all these continuation, yeah, so I didn't trade August 12th. It's a day I couldn't understand how to get in on something. So let's switch to August 12th and let's switch to 9:30. Let's go. And let's look at 15 minutes. Let's look at the 15-minute on that day. Okay, so what? 8:30, we took out a lot. Okay. Oops. Let's not zoom in some more. Oh my God. Maddie. Oh no. This kitty, man. Where you going? You're just sleeping out. You cannot be on my laptop, little girl. Come here. You can be on my lap. Come here. What? Really? Okay, good. You can be on my lap. Okay, so what do we have on the 4 hour? What are we reaching for? So things that I want to be aware of. So we have this guy right here on the highs, and let's delete that. Delete that. Got a lot of things in here. So that's like a good place on the 4 hour to reach for. She's making biscuits on my stomach. It's too cute. I can't. The adorableness is real. So from this 4 hour chart, we're reaching back up, and we did a small drop, but we've been reaching back up. We did a little correction here, and then we've been reaching back up. So obviously they're going to come take these highs out. So let's nip over to the 1 minute here, and ran up like a lot. And what did we do at 9:30? So 9:30, we just ran up. Wow, these are pretty close. Might need to figure out if they're going to go any higher. So on these days when they just run, 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 man. Ugh, kitties, I swear. Okay. All right, so now she wants me to hold her up as she does her cute little sleepy sleepy. Right, baby girl? You cute sleepy sleepy? Where's your good sleepy sleepy? You are. Sorry, guys. It's easy to have kitty brain. It really is. Okay, so 9:30. So 8:30 we ran up. I presume there was news. Let me double check. And on the 12th. That's a Tuesday. Because most times on Mondays I don't even trade. So there was CPI at 8:30 and no more news. So good. So we ran up. We can probably expect they're going to continue going up. I mean, this is a strong move. So 9:30 we took out what little lows there were available, and then we're just running. So now I want to know, how do I get in on a continuation trade going up? So we have a low, lower low, traded through. Now, this is the order block in my mind. We've got a fair value gap, order block. So my general hope, but this is like at 9:36, like I don't trade until after 9:45, until about 10-ish. So this doesn't help me in the least bit. Hold on, I'm trying to change the color. It's got to be like a light green so the candles can form through it, and so it makes it easier for me to see. Things to consider. We only have 1, 2, so they'll probably come back down into this potentially. So I am of the opinion to wait. Take this immediate high. I'm going to remove that one and go for the more obvious 4 hour high. It's 9:37. So this day was a very nice update. I want to see if we can't figure out a continuation trade for that. Uh, yep. Some days, like when they drop with alacrity, it just makes me feel like they don't want me to participate, or they're inviting me to YOLO. Yo ho, and a bottle of rum, eh? This is water though. Because I will say, like doing these lives to back test, it's pretty cool. But I my throat sometimes gets dry, so I gotta have the CPCP. Okay, guys, now I'm leaning back because I have a kitty sleeping on my lap, and it's adorable, and there's purring, and it's warm, and we're waiting. So we're at what, 9:38 on August 12th. We're testing continuation trade setups. I realize how close this is. See how far we can get. Like, do we have higher potential areas of interest here? Oh, I think this was like they were trying about to break all-time highs that day. Also, a point of fear for me is all-time highs. We're obviously continuing up, but how far up? I suppose this is where a fib, comes in handy to do some estimates. Okay, so we don't have, I mean, there's a kind of structure. So there's a scenario where we've shifted and then, okay, so if I were to do this, which I don't like because, and then we'd reach for that. So if I were to do this candle is huge. So I would want to try the entry at the middle of this, or a little bit above the middle of the fair value gap. Why? Because we swept all of this, we shifted up, we tapped this, and then we shifted again. So my general hope in this scenario is they'll want to come down to the just about the midpoint of this fair value gap and then continue on up. So let's see. Now that's a potential entry. It also technically isn't even really a continuation model. This is one of the entries for my sweep shift, you know. But I just don't know if my entry is what concerns me about this scenario here. Let's zoom in a little bit. Ah, lame. Seriously? They missed me by like a tick or two. Damn. Come on. Well, they could still come back down. The reason why I wanted to shift it down is because we had this break right here in the middle. So it's possible they'd want to dig in and tap into that and then run up. Swear to God, this cat. Why do you do that? You're so cute and adorable. And she moves and sets herself up so that she can. Now, the more optimal entry was at the top of this order block, but my stop would have been in the middle of this, and I wouldn't have felt comfortable with that. Doesn't necessarily mean I won't get an entry. I mean, it could absolutely mean I don't get an entry, but that's all right. We're here testing out potential scenarios. And this candle is huge. I mean, that would be like double my stop if I were to try and move that down. And that doesn't work for me. Does not work for me. And what am I missing here? So we have a fair value gap here and the base of it there. Oh, lame. I didn't even notice it. I should have put my entry here at the bottom of this fair value gap and not worry about that one. But still, they did tap into it. So I don't know. I'm just going to wait. This feels like it wants to just run away from here, honestly. Dang, so close. So close. I don't know, thank you. She could probably come back down and tap me in, but this is that situation where it's gone. All right, so what could I have done better? I could have looked around, broadened my scope, and recognized this guy that was here. It coincided with this order block, so could have gotten in here, and then that would have been okay. And then that's the all-time highs. We don't need to get all the way up there for an entry, but you know, I mean, it's obvious that we want to continue up. I don't know, do we get an entry? What I didn't check is where, so in this range, where's the 50%? And sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. Oh, so with that movement, I got a little better of an entry. Hmm. And I don't know, do I get stopped out immediately? Yup. Dang, gangsta. See, that's why I don't necessarily like taking this one as much, especially when there's a fair value gap below it. That always makes me super duper nervous. Super duper nervous. So that behavior, what is this? 9:44. Oh no, guys. I took that before 9:45. Like, that's a hard and fast rule. That's the problem with testing sometimes. Like, I didn't even look at the clock. So honestly, they left equal highs up here. I would love to see them blow through this and then run up. That would be nice. Haha, what did we do? We tapped into this guy. And honestly, that's the one I saw first. But I'm like, why, they did this, so there's no reason for them to come all the way back down here, but perhaps they have. I don't know. So this is the kind of thing I just don't usually bother to try and trade, you know? So my favorite setup is when they sweep some liquidity, they ship, and then they clear this, you know, and then there's no fair value gaps, and they leave a one upwards candle, and then I can get in and then run. That's my favorite. That is absolutely my favorite. Um, but that was a mean candle. So I shouldn't have had anything set because it wasn't before 9:45. And I like to wait the first 15 minutes of the day. So that's a my bad. I didn't realize the timing on the day. Because they'll do their shenanigans in the first, like, what, 15 to 30 minutes of the open. If there's no more news, which, let me look at the 12th, see if there's any more news. Okay, nothing at 10 really. So there was no more news. So then my next favorite is trying a long like that. Let's see. I mean, honestly, I would love for them to fill the whole thing if they could. Let's try at the bottom. So that usually gets me in trouble. And the reason why I'm doing that is that they came into this guy and oof, okay. So let's see if they'll respect the midpoint. I'm also hoping the midpoint of this thing and the wick, but that doesn't look like it's going to be the case in this scenario. It's terrible, terrible. It's the kind of thing that I would definitely hesitate to take on a regular basis. I don't like it. It doesn't make me feel comfortable. I probably should have waited for them to do that and then take this high out again and then get an entry here. Yeah. because now I'm out again twice. Right. Okay. This is not going well. Like I think I'm just getting tired now. I've only been doing this for an hour 20. It's not that long. Because that's nothing, that's not a continuation setup, and it's most definitely not a not it doesn't fall into the categories. I don't think this isn't what I was hoping. This behavior here on this day is not what I was hoping for to test out continuation setups. So let me see. It's the 12th. So maybe it's one of those days where we get like, because I didn't take that out. So maybe we get a sweep down below and a shift up. Because that's looking real droppy. Whoa. Huh. So maybe that's what I needed to do. Just wait for, I'm gonna delete that. Because this is looking more like my normal setup. I need a drop day. I need a continuation day. This isn't doing it for me. Too weirdly choppy. Cause yeah. Actually, I didn't even check to see if they took London lows or anything. They did not. Well, no, they didn't. 595. Let's see here. Because this is nice. They're just dropping. I wonder, so as a continuation, we have this guy. How does one even get in on this action? It dropped. Let's see, 830 was pretty bullish. I didn't trade on these days, for sure. So that's why I gotta see. It is 9:51. So we're testing August 12th, 9:51. So far, we've failed miserably in trying to work through any of this. But it also does not fit, at least none of this fit the continuation trade pattern that I'm looking for. Like when they just drop or they just go up, how do I get in? So this looks like they might want to continue dropping and take at least these lows out. How do I? There's that. I don't think they're gonna come all the way back up. Okay, so maybe from a continuation perspective, maybe if we get something back up here, let's make that super light. Okay. And then we can see if we can get something to come at least to here. I don't need all that, but just to there. Order block here, this guy. I'm gonna say, actually, let's, I don't honestly think they're gonna come all the way back up here, but you never know. With NQ, she'll just do whatever she wants, really. Okay. So we dug into that. Okay. 50% is here. Okay. So I want to see the correlation 70. So I want to see how they do when they come into this fair value gap. See if they give us something at the order block. Anything above 50% is viable for an entry. So let's see what we get. And then I would be more than happy if they come up and then they drop back down to take something here after they've given me something. Because they haven't taken liquidity yet. Down here, equal lows right there, 607. So maybe we get that. Or this is just a fake out and they're gonna run right back up. I don't know. But we're trying to understand continuation trades. The 50% is about here. So I want them to get above that before I can get some sort of entry. Preferably. So I don't think my stop would look real good. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think my stop would look real good from here. But let's modify. So see if we can get something like that. I'm not gonna be greedy, just stop at the body. Something like that. But given the nature of my stop, let's see. We might just tap into this guy and not get there. Let's put it at the top of that one. Give myself a little bit of room. I don't know if I get it, but all right, so we're above the 50%. My preference is that they stay at the midpoint of this. So using the base of this, and then I can just move my entry down. Let's see. They did make equal highs up here and they did sweep that. I'm hoping they want to sweep some more. I'm trying to work on continuation setups. So we're at midpoint. If we're gonna tap this, then I would take, if we get a down close candle, then I would take the base of the green. See if that works. So let's zoom in on that and see if we get something like that. Because that shows strength, you know? Wow, that looks pretty. All right. That doesn't look like it's going to give us a chance to get in there. And that's something I'm okay with, honestly. Oh, come on. Seriously? This is why I don't like continuation trades. Like, look at that. No opportunity to get in on that candle at all. That thing just ran away. Ran right away. Gown. Gown. Now I said I would consider an entry here without that. I mean, you would think they would want to just keep going. Like this high should be protected with that big old drop, but it didn't take this low out. Probably will in this next candle. Oh, and it did respect it, but it didn't give us any chance to get in there. No chance at all. Let's see, what kind of distance did that run? This candle's still forming, so that's not quite going to be super accurate. But I mean, the idea is solid, but short of YOLOing into that one, or just once it popped up and then just setting something here in the hopes that my stock will be robust enough to handle it, seems a bit uh, hopeful instead of practical. Anyway, so in this case, I would just cancel that because that's gone. So that's a scenario where I still wouldn't get in. And I'm pretty sure the day I probably was staring at this going, seriously? And I would just wait for it to take out some low and get my A plus set up and just go from there. And don't worry about the rest. So it's 9:59 on August 12th that we're testing for a continuation setup. I had originally hoped that this would be a smaller down close candle and then I could set an entry at the base here, but nope, that thing just ran away. Still, what I'm looking for is down here, so the potential for, oops, the potential for the sell is still there if they want to pop back up and give us a chance. But given this, I highly doubt they're gonna run back up. So that just ran off, yeah. They're just gonna run away. So again, I have a hard and fast rule about continuation trades. I'm not just gonna take it at the nearest low and hope for the best. No, that's not. Let's cancel that. That's not the way I work. So we saw a retracement here. I would have, well, let's see, where did they stop? Because these retracements, man, like, I don't know if I should just set a hard and fast rule. Because I said I wanted anything above 50%. And I usually like 70 for an entry if I'm going to do an entry. Um, and midpoint of the fair value gap was 62. They didn't even make it back over to there. So regardless of whatever I would have wanted, I would not have gotten an entry. Anyway, this is one of those scenarios where I always feel so annoyed because it just didn't give me a chance. And as you can see, it requires me to right click, move down, make sure I click on the right buy or sell custom, and then click on that, you know? Actually, I haven't even like tried this sell. uh, Yeah. So no, like this continuation setup is not one I could work with. Anyway, I think my brain is getting tired. I'm gonna enjoy the long weekend. It's only 10:02. So I don't know, maybe we get lucky. Okay, Kitty has left. I think she heard me say my thighs were getting tired. Thank you, Maddie. Oh, really tired. Jeez. So given the speed and alacrity that I always sometimes wonder if, like, at this point, this would be like the last potential. But again, I don't like taking it when they're so low. But I don't know, the probability of them running back up here seems really low to me. and a quick rundown for a quick hit doesn't seem like a bad play. Again, it has to fall within the rules because more times than not, whenever I take it so low, I always get like stopped out. As you're seeing in this scenario, like I always get stopped out whenever I take it that low. Because the stop needs to at least be 3/4 up from um the order block it's kind of working with. So this type of continuation does really make me seriously nervous. I don't like it. Because we're flirting with the stop. You would need to blow past this for me to feel comfortable. And as we know, NASDAQ doesn't just do what you want it to do. It's just not the way it works. In any case, I would move my stop to break even down here. This would be like a Hail Mary play for me as a continuation. I don't like it. I would have preferred it further up than all the way down here, but I don't know. Looks like we might get lucky for a change. I don't know, but it has to take the low out for me to move. See, this is what I don't like about these. They mess about in the space. We got this volume imbalance here, and this could be me getting stopped out for yep. That's why I don't take these. That's why continuation trades and I are not the best of friends. I'm gonna have to work on this a lot more. Definitely have to work on this a lot more. All right, I'm getting tired. I think I need to take another nap. Thanks for joining me. Um, so the one thing I've learned is I'm not great at continuation trades. You've seen me lose like 50 million times on this one, but that's all right. We're here learning. Um, this also does solidify my desire to not just, I don't like taking trades just cause, you know, just because there's an up close or a down close candle, it doesn't necessarily mean anything that it's going to be a good place for a setup or anything. And I definitely don't like, it also solidifies why I don't like to take trades, too close to my TP or, like as we see here, like it just doesn't usually work for me. So I don't. So what did I say? We're at 10 trades for the month of August. So I'm looking to be just as discerning and as specific about only taking A plus setups, and that's probably still going to remain the uh my initial A plus setup, which is sweep of liquidity, shift in structure, and then wait for my entry. Now, I did promise to show you what my actual favorite type of entry is. So let's see if I can swap over. Yes, I can. Okay, let's go back. And let's get tiny. So let me show you what my favorite kind of continuation trade is. And this is the one that I missed yesterday. I was really salty about it. I'm not gonna lie, I was really salty about it. So yesterday was good. Now, lots of liquidity below here. That was awesome. It's what we're looking for. Once I changed my bias from bullish to bearish, and if I was still bearish, I would have probably tried to take something here. I would have set this like 1, 2, 3. I would have tried and set my entry. Let me clone that just to see where I would have probably tried to set my entry there. And I wouldn't have gotten in because it didn't come up to it. Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten in. But my absolute favorite type of continuation trade is they dropped a whole bunch yesterday, but they didn't make it to the higher time frame liquidity down here. So if we take a look at let's open up the 15. So this is the entry that I was salty that I missed, and I'll show you why. So to the left of this So we had this low right here, but there's one below it. So I think we might need to go up to like the 1 hour or the 4 hour, see it properly. Ugh. Like how far back have we gone? Okay. So I was looking at this no, 420. I was looking at this low at 415 right here. So let's just mark that out. So that's what I was looking for them to reach. You know, I was honestly, and that's plenty, that's plenty. So I was looking for them to tip into that, but I was okay with taking it out at 420 to lock in the gains. So here's my favorite type of setup. So we've been dropping, dropping, dropping. They ran up, they dropped, they did not take the low I'm expecting them to take yet. So I'm still bearish, so I want them to come up. So we have this order block, we have this fair value gap. They hung out at the midpoint of it. Beautiful. And then I wanted to see if they're going to respect the midpoint and the wick of the order block. And then, so the entry here at the midpoint, like once we tapped it, reflected off of it, I would have set my entry, I would have missed it. But then once they dropped below here, I would have set my order at the base of this order block right there. And then I would have, just gone to 420. A little bit above gets you paid without waiting for all this extra crap. Because if I'd waited for I would have gotten it, yes. But look, come on, that's annoying. Just get out right here. So this, I mean, I was salty. I can't tell you how much I was salty because this is what I did to myself, and I blinded myself to the setup. I blinded myself because this is the 1 minute fair value gap. I moved it down to the 5 minute. So when I saw my setup forming, what I was waiting for was, I don't know why in my brain I felt like I needed a shift. I did not need a shift. So I wanted an entry. Once it blew down this way, I wanted an entry here. Sorry, here. And this is after they dropped back down here. So I don't know why I felt like I needed this entry. Of course, they didn't come back up to it. If I'd set it here, I would have gotten that and they would have gotten the rundown. But that's not it. But it blinded me to the appropriate entry at the base of the 1 minute fair value gap. So that's why I missed out on that nice trade, because I should have, stayed with my original scenario. And, once I saw this and then it dropped, set my entry at the base of that candle, and then voila. Juicy. That's my favorite type of continuation trade. And look, similar scenario, the engineered liquidity, and then shifted it below it. This would have netted me a little something, something too. No drawdown. But I went for here, and I missed out on an entry, so it is what it is. All right. I'm gonna call it there. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of the long weekend. I hope everybody's having a lovely weekend. Take some time, rest, recuperate. Monday's a bank holiday, so I won't be trading. So I will be back on Tuesday to do any trading. And I'm just gonna go enjoy the weekend and live life, play with the kitties, eat some good food. Anyway, so I hope everybody's had a wonderful August. That's done. It's time for some September trading. Hopefully we get some better price action. And I'm just gonna document and journal. So have a lovely weekend. Shakira out.